Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my team selection for Double Gameweek 37 and the transfers that I'm thinking of making. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are your plans for the next game week, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, a quick recap of Game Week 36. A pretty bad red arrow from 400 to 900th in the world. We finished on 90 points with a Game Week rank of 1.7 mil. My transfer this week was Udogi out for Porro, just to kind of set myself up for Game Week 37 and Game Week 38, and hoping that he might get something at Liverpool, but unfortunately was not the case and did finish on 0 points. A lot of people did get some pretty big bench jam this week, with Fernandes being out last night, getting Jackson off the bench, Son off the bench, players like that. So some massive bench points, for a lot of people. But yeah, Garnacho was my only player last night and unfortunately didn't do anything. But either way, finished on 90 points. Petrovic was 6. Gusto coming back from injury getting me 1 point. Gvardiol getting me 6 points. Porro picking up nothing. Son getting 7. Foden getting 5. Palmer with 8. Gordon with 6. Garnacho with 2. Isak with 7, Haaland captaincy with 42, and then on the bench, Onana getting 2 points, and then Solanke getting 2, and then Schär and Van Hecke out for the rest of the season. Also, a lot of people were asking why I switched from Foden to Haaland captaincy. I did explain at the end of yesterday's video, but I'm assuming a lot of people didn't watch up to that point. But the main reason was because Pep came out with a comment saying that Haaland was absolutely fine to start the game, and so because of that, I was like, there's not really much point of going for a massive differential captain that's just potentially could destroy my rank, which would have happened really if I'd gone Foden instead of Haaland. So with those really positive comments from Pep, I was like, I may as well just captain Haaland. It is a little bit boring, but sometimes you just have to go for the obvious captaincy because it sometimes can go really, really wrong if you go against them. And again, I know that Haaland hasn't been his usual self like the past few game weeks, so I completely understand people going Palmer captain, Foden captain, etc. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just a bit of a freak kind of situation where he scored 4 goals, obviously got a couple of penalties. It just is what it is. Like before that, he got 5 against Forest, obviously injured against Brighton. Luton got 10, Crystal Palace 8, nothing against Villa, nothing against Arsenal, Liverpool. So he'd been on a little bit of a lack of form really in terms of goal scoring. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going to be captaining him this week now, especially because he's just scored obviously 4 goals. But either way, it was a pretty poor game week from me. The main culprits were of course double Arsenal defence, which again, on another day, they probably would have lost that clean sheet, but it's just how football goes with VAR. And then, of course, Jackson doing whatever he can to destroy my season for the last remaining weeks, getting a massive 16-pointer as well. But it is what it is, 90 points. Let's move on to what the team looks like for Double Game Week 37. Now, of course, my bench boost is active. You can see it here on your screen. The bench doesn't look great at the moment, though. Onana and Solanke with 2 injuries, not ideal. I am taking a -4 this week. I am also kind of umming and ahhing about taking a potential -12, but we'll explain that as we get deeper into the video. But either way, in goal, we do have Petrovic and Onana. So Petrovic has Forest away, Brighton away, and Onana has Arsenal at home and Newcastle at home. So 4 fixtures between my 2 goalkeepers. How many clean sheets are going to be happening in those 4 fixtures? I don't really see any. From what I saw from United last night, they are absolutely abysmal at the back. I understand they've had a lot of injuries, but he cannot just keep playing Casemiro at centre-back. I'm not even a Man United fan, but wow, he is not a centre-back at all. And I know that he obviously was once this incredible player, but I feel like he's definitely past his prime. Cannot be playing him centre-back. At least they absolutely sat him down, sent him to the shops for a cornetto. It was ridiculous. So, not really expecting anything from Onana. Just hopefully some save points. Maybe a penalty save if there is a little bit of good luck going his way. But either way, Onana and Petrovic in goal. At the back, we have Gusto, who's got Forest away and Brighton away. Again, this player, I don't expect starts both. I expect him to start 1. I'd arguably rather him start the Brighton game because they've just not been that good going forward. Forest, I feel like, will score against Chelsea. And we're also Chelsea's bogey team as well. I think we drew twice with them last season. We beat them at Stamford Bridge this season. And I know that Chelsea have just found some ridiculous form out of nowhere. But I still wouldn't write Forest off, And this is a massive game for Forest as well. Beating Sheffield United and Luton and Burnley both losing was massive for, survival. But I think that if we get anything against Chelsea, and obviously Luton and Burnley both lose, then we're automatically safe. So we're going to go into that game guns blazing, playing our best team and just going for it. And it's at home, it's at the City Ground, which is a fortress in itself. And in a survival game, I don't think Chelsea are going to do too well. I think we're absolutely going to not smash them, but I think it's going to upset a lot of people. Everyone expecting Chelsea to go there and like win 2-0. I don't think it's going to be the situation. But either way, Gusto's there. We've got Gvardiol, who's got Fulham away and Spurs away. Arguably City's best defender at the moment. He's not even playing as a defender at some points in his last fixtures. So I completely expect him to start both the fixtures. He's one of the better City assets to own. I think the best three at the moment is Haaland, Foden, and Gvardiol. Maybe De Bruyne instead of Foden, but yeah, they're the best three that I would kind of think about owning. I've also got Porro, who's got Burnley at home and City at home, hoping for some sort of clean sheet against Burnley. City is probably going to be a 0-pointer, so it might just be a single game week player, really. But either way, they're the defenders I've got because Shaw and Van Hecke are injured at this point in time. In midfield, we've got Son, who's got Burnley at home and City at home. We have Foden, who's got Fulham away, Spurs away, Palmer, who's got Forest away, Brighton away, Gordon, who's got Brighton at home and Man United away. I honestly think the Newcastle fixtures are really, really good. Like, Brighton at home is solid for Newcastle. They're just so good at home. And then United, I mean, I feel like Newcastle could really tear them apart. But either way, I'm kind of happy I've got double Newcastle attack. And I've also got Garnacho, who's got Arsenal at home and Newcastle at home as well. So really, really happy with the midfield. I'd probably prefer Bruno Fernandes than Garnacho, but because Bruno's a little bit of a doubt, kind of just happy that I don't have to deal with that. But he never misses a game. I know he missed last night, but I can't see him missing like back-to-back games. So he'll probably be back for 37. But either way, if I owned him, I'd definitely hold him, unless we get news from Ten Hag that he's definitely out, but I highly doubt it. And then up top, we have Isak, who's got Brighton at home, Man United away. We've got Haaland, who's got Fulham away, and Spurs away, who is my captain. And we've also got Solanke, who's got Brentford at home. So that's the team selection as of right now. Obviously, bench boost is active, so we need to sort this bench out. But all in all, the team looks okay. To say I've had like injury after injury after injury, it doesn't look awful. I mean, I'm going to count that Gusto isn't going to play 2 games. So I've got basically 2 single game week players in Gusto and Solanke, and then obviously Shaw and Van Hecke's out. So let's move on to the transfers, and let's see what we can kind of do with this team to sort it out for this bench boost. So in an ideal world, I take a -12. I bring Jackson in for Solanke. I bring Burn in for Shaw. I bring another Spurs defender in for Van Hecke. And then for Gusto, I really don't even know. Like, I'm not going to bring in a Man United defender. I'm not going to bring in Dalot. It just makes absolutely no sense. I could bring in an Arsenal defender who've got obviously United away. But really, I think that's a really good fixture for Arsenal. I don't think they're going to do badly at all. But I think they might nick a goal. You just never know. So I don't know if it's really worth it. But yeah, that would be kind of the best situation. I mean, I'm not going to bring in any Brighton defenders. I'm not going to bring in another Man United defender. So the only other option really is an Arsenal defender who've got United away and then Everton at home. So obviously some nice fixtures up until the end of the season. So that is one way I could do it. But I'd be taking a -12 because I'd have to get rid of Gusto to bring Jackson in. So it's not ideal really. And I don't, even though I think Jackson's probably going to go big in this double, is it going to be worth the -12? I don't think it is. But it's not just the -12 that Jackson has to make up, obviously. It's the other defenders as well. Like, the way I see it is, yes, I am spending these points, but it's points that I wouldn't have regardless. So, like, I'm getting rid of Shaw, and I'm bringing in Dan Burn, who's going to have 2 fixtures. You know, I'm basically getting 2 fixtures there for nothing. And I know it's unfortunate because I've had this injury, and I shouldn't have even had to take this -4 in the first place. Same with Udogie, same with Shaw, same with Van Hecke. But at the same time, at this point I'm in right now, it's either I play Shaw, who gets nothing, or I play Dan Burn, who's got 2 fixtures. So the worst case scenario, Burn concedes 1 goal in both of those fixtures. He makes the 4 points back. Whereas if he gets any kind of clean sheet or any kind of attacking return, he's already made my points back. So maybe the Jackson one doesn't sound as bad. It's just which defender do I bring in? Because like Van Hecke is also going to obviously be going out this week as well. Probably going to be going out for Ramiro, just because he's got a bit of dominance in the box on corners and set pieces. So that's I'm pretty sure my definite 2 transfers this week for a -4 is Dan Burn in and Ramiro in for Van Hecke, and also I can't remember who it was, Shaw as well. So that, I think, like, there's nobody else that I want. There's no United defense I want. There's no Brighton defense I want. Those, like, definitely Dan Burn. If Trippier's back, then that might also kind of come into the equation, but it's just, I think it's just a little bit too risky. You know, is he going to start both games after just coming back from this program? Very unlikely. I think Dan Burn's just a safe option. Obviously, I said in yesterday's video, whenever I bring in a Newcastle defender, they get injured that game week. Happened with Lascelles on my Game Week 30 wildcard, brought Shaw in Game Week 35 or whatever, got injured in 45 minutes. So Dan Burn is probably going to get injured as well. I do apologise in advance, but it is what it is. I've got to bring him in. So, yeah, Dan Burn, I think, is just the smart option. Romero, I mean, there's not really any other defenders I want to bring in from Spurs. I mean, Royale maybe, but at the same time, I think Romero just offers a little bit more, same as Van der Ven. But, you know, money's not really a problem. I've got 5.6 mil in the bank. So these two are definitely going to be in. And I'm basically I'm buying 4 fixtures for a -4 hit, which, again, should hopefully pay itself off. And then, yeah, for Gusto and Solanke, it just depends. Do I take that extra kind of hit? It's one of those, like, if Gusto was definitely going to start both, I wouldn't do it. But it's the idea that he's probably only going to start one, and it might be, and I don't think they're going to keep a clean sheet as well. Whereas Jackson should probably start both. I know that Nkunku's back and stuff, but he's probably going to start both, and he's probably going to do really, really well as well. And it's just a little bit worrying that I'm just going to miss out on all these points. But is it worth it? But like, these two are definitely worth the -4, like 1000%. But it's just, are these two worth the -8? You know, are Gusto and Solanke going to outscore like Ben White and Nicholas Jackson plus the -8? So Nicholas Jackson and Ben White have to make 8 points on Gusto and Solanke, and also outscore them for it to be worth it. You know, if Solanke gets a goal, you know, that's 6 points. So that'd be just 14 points they'd have to make back from Nicholas Jackson and Ben White. And I just don't know if it's going to happen. So I would love to do it, and the FOMO of not having Jackson is really strong, but I think that I might just have to place that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm going to, like I say, we'll probably do a deadline stream this week, and I'll probably talk about it a lot more then. But as of right now, it's just like, what do you do? What do you do? But either way, it's definitely Burn and Romero in, or Burn and some of the Spurs defender. Unless Howe says Trippier is absolutely fine to start this game, I'll bring Trippier in just for a bit of a differential. If not, then I'll just bring Dan Burn in and play it safe, like I should have done last time instead of Shaw. But that is what we're looking like for Game Week 37 and the bench boost. And then, yeah, I'll have, you know, 14 doublers, basically 13, because Gusto's not going to play both. So I'll have 13 doublers and 2 single players, you know, on a bench boost. It is what it is. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What are your plans for Double Game Week 37? Subscribe if you're brand new. And until next time, peace.